sure I'm recording. 1. Hello again and welcome. Thanks for joining us under the library. As always, we are continuing our Blood on the Rocks module, created and written by our very own keeper. I'm your host, my name's Arthur, and I am playing Harold. Tonight we are still short one Rick. He's still traveling. It's very sad. But we do have the other 5 crew here. Chris is playing Beau. Wayne is Quentin. Emily is Florence. Scott's Yocker. And as always, our amazing keeper is Michael. Michael, take it away.
I think I can learn how to unmute at some point.
That was amazing. I was like, oh my God, is anybody hearing me? Am I just like talking? No one told me I was muted?
So, you gonna do the introduction now?
Art, did you see the message?
We're such pros. I did not.
Thank you for joining us under the library. Under the library is is it a mature? It's for mature audiences. It's a horror tabletop role-playing game for mature audiences by immature people. We have bodily horror, graphic violence, swear words, and insanity.
Clearly
And
super professional podcasters.
absolutely, yes, on top of our game tonight. And with that, I will gladly turn this over to Emily, aka Florence, for the recap of last week's episode.
All right. So last week we started out with Quentin. With Quentin in the basement.
Oh, he's in the bathroom. Close the goddamn door! Oh, sweet Jesus!
Oh, no.
Close. There you go.
So,
Turn up the sound. Let's see if we can do anything drop.
Toilet. Oh my God! You didn't even wipe.
I'll spilt me suit.
okay. So Quentin in the basement is experiencing, well, he's having an experience. He travels backwards through time. His mind speeds, seeing humans devolve, and then dinosaurs, and then just blackness. And he sees some blue glowing figures on the horizon who are at war with each other. This is some kind of trip he's on. But then he reverses, zooms forward in history, and ends up sitting at a table with his icon, his Herman Melville, his favorite author of his favorite novel, Moby Dick. And they have a conversation where Quentin actually ends up almost feeding the story for Moby Dick to Melville, who takes copious notes. And at the same time, while he is in this special place, Florence is peering down into the basement, having pulled up the ladder last time. And she sees a beam of light coming down the tunnel, sees Quentin, speaks to Quentin, and they have a conversation where she expresses her discomfort with his actions, and he assures her that he will do no harm. And I should mention at this point, Quentin is being voiced by our keeper. And
That's not suspicious.
Not at all.
finally, Florence
Totally normal.
decides she can't leave him in the basement without a better reason than her discomfort. So she drops the ladder. Quentin climbs up, and abruptly, as he crosses that threshold, switches from his clarity and sincerity to babbling about Moby Dick and Melville, like a crazy person. And he passes out, wakes up again, starts babbling again. Florence covers his mouth, trying to silence him, because if you remember, we had heard Gerald, who was previously unconscious, moving around in the other room and humming to himself. So we need to figure out what's going on in the living room. Moving into the living room, we find Gerald, who is trying to remove a little box from his throat with massive tongs. And Harold and Florence go to look for the journal that Florence wanted to grab, while Quentin tries to use his medical background to help Gerald. And Gerald lets him do this, but goes strangely limp while Quentin pulls the box from his throat. Like, this would have hurt. And he was just limp upper body, totally still, showing no signs of discomfort. And after, I guess I should have mentioned, strange that Quentin didn't recognize Gerald, considering that he knocked him out. But at this moment, he places his face. All of his actions come floating back to him, including the second blow to the head that Florence and Harold didn't even know about, where Quentin really wanted to make sure the job was done and whacked him again with the rifle before following us downstairs. That was the sound of the breaking watermelon Florence heard from the basement. And Quentin basically channels his
Poor
hero,
Scott.
Ahab.
The worst game I've ever played in my life.
In his search for his nemesis, the white whale. He feels that Gerald represents this idea, and he must stop him to stop the evil, and he snaps his neck. So Quentin bursts out of the house, admits what he's done. We go back in to see what happened to Gerald. He is definitely dead. He is slumped on the table with dark liquid just pooling beside his head. His spine is protruding from his neck. And while Harold works to remove signs of our presence,
Scott's faces are amazing.
I'm not even sure I said those things. I think she's just doing this to torture you now, Scott.
No,
everything's written.
Yeah,
I take the notes.
I remember the spine protruding
I do
from the neck.
too.
Oh yeah, it was there.
It was a juicy spine with like little spinal fluid dripping out the sides.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't actually out of the neck. It was sort of a bulge on the side. It was still
Bulging.
under the skin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But then
Gotta get
yeah,
the fine points.
But then Quentin thought maybe it was a pimple and he like squeezed it.
Anyway, so as we leave the house, we make an agreement because it's very important to Harold to make sure the animals in the basement are taken care of. So we all agree that we'll go back to town, get Beau and Yacker, and head back to get those animals out of the basement so that they don't just starve down there in their cages. So back in town, Beau and Yacker are looking for the other group of people who may have lost a loved one to the flying creatures. And they find a woman screaming, "Sammy, little Sammy," as people are supporting her. And in the conversation, Yacker realizes that this was not the first time that this happened. A couple years ago, he heard rumors of something, but assumed that it, couldn't really be creatures snatching people. There were local legends, and now he realizes that, yes, it was real. This is the second time. He also takes a sample of sticky stuff from the crying woman's shoulder. And as they leave the group, Beau remembers to share the blank book with Yacker that he took from the corpse of Jack, not Crabbe, Jack Willis. And they head back to Seraphim Falls to examine the book, blank pages. Holding a candle behind the page, evil shoots through Beau. He sees bodies decompose into flies.
No, I actually touch it.
Okay.
I was running my fingers across it like Braille, trying to see if I could feel the indentations.
Oh, I did write indentations, impressions. Thank you. Okay. So anyway, Beau is struck with dacnomania, which I had to Google, and starts singing a Thanksgiving song in that moment. That's what I wrote down. I don't remember what you were singing or why.
So Thanksgiving is a singing holiday?
It was a song about Thanksgiving.
Veins between my teeth.
Kill,
Kill.
Of course.
Kill.
How could I not remember Alice's Restaurant?
Beau pulls out a pistol with intent to kill someone, storms out, and goes looking for Jack Crabbe, and he hears across the square, "I'm your huckleberry." I can't do it. I've never seen it. I'm sorry. I'm
If
your
you-
huckleberry.
If you had seen it, could you do it then?
No, because I can't do voices. I mean, if I just heard it, I
Can
could
you
do
give
it
it
again.
one more shot?
No, you
Wait,
do
just
it,
give
and then
it
I'll
one-
do what you did.
You're pretty much almost there.
Yeah.
No, somebody else
Just
say
give
it, and then I'll
just
say
give it
what
one
you
more
said.
shot. We all want to be really quiet and listen. Give it one more
Yeah.
shot. Here we go. Go, Emily.
No, you say it, and I'll say what you said.
I'm
It
your
is I
huckleberry.
who am
I'm your
thy
huckleberry.
huckleberry.
I just have to have a model. That's where we ended.
All right. Beau, you're in the street. It's nighttime.
Yep.
Yeah, at a distance.
I heard I'm your huckleberry.
I see that. I'm your huckleberry. See,
There you
I just
go.
need I need a
Yeah.
model.
Art just took a screenshot right there.
And I'm
Maybe.
I've got my my shotgun at my side, but I don't have it pointed.
Okay.
I'm just carrying it, and I start striding purposely towards the voice, and I say, "Jack Crabbe, is that you?"
At your service.
Well, Mr. Crabbe, I haven't seen you in years. How you doing?
I'm gonna be about right better in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, and I keep walking, keep walking.
Puts his hand on the hilt of his pistol.
Yeah, yes, sir. You probably don't even recognize me.
I wouldn't miss you for the world, Beau.
Beau, really? Oh, no, you see, sir, Beau is dead. You killed Beau. I'm Beau's ghost. Come back to haunt your ass.
I ain't never seen a ghost that couldn't fall in the dirt.
Oh, you try to shoot me. You see if you can kill a ghost. Okay, how close am I? Am I now?
Let's see. Been walking this whole time. Let's say,
Nice long strides.
yeah, let's say we'll give you 30 feet. How's that?
30 feet? Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Crabbe, I have something I've been wanting to discuss with you for the longest time. Well, it goes a little bit. It goes a little bit like this, and I pull up my shotgun and fire.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Okay, let me call up my my thing here so I see what I'm doing. Okay, blah 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 blah. 32 out of 70. That is a hard success.
Yacker, where are you?
He said not to follow.
Oh, remember I yelled at Yacker and told him I'd
Yeah.
kill him if he didn't
Yacker's
get out of my way.
Still in
Okay.
Seraphim Falls unless he
Yeah.
followed.
So all I was gonna do was, because I respect Beau. I want to give Beau his space. He seemed really upset. So, I was gonna put the book down and then sort of walk and look out the door to see if I could see where Beau's going.
Not just a little upset. I think you would have noticed I was.
Yeah, I mean,
I was
you were
never that harsh to you before. Something's
irate.
something's really up. So 10 points of damage at that
Okay.
range.
So the body in front of you turns and just flops into the ground. Yacker, where are you? Are you
So I would have been looking out the door.
okay? So make a listen roll.
To see if you can hear the shotgun.
He definitely heard the shotgun.
All right, I rolled a 41. Hold on.
Less than or greater than equal to.
Nah, I missed.
Okay.
I listened to
So
20.
the sounds are obscured by the shotgun blast. You're kind of peeking your head around the corner, but what you hear or think you hear under that shotgun blast is something to the akin of "Don't shoot."
Uh-oh.
Okay, Beau.
Oh, you dirty, dirty devil, you. Okay, I stride right up to the body. It's laying face down, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I take the pistol that I definitely see there, whether it's there or not.
Yeah.
I grab the pistol and I throw it to the side.
Okay.
And I kick the body over with my foot so it's lying on its back.
Okay. Make a POW roll as you do this.
Okay. Yep, 30 out of 60. So that's a hard success.
Okay. And so as you kick the body, you're kind of jolted back. You hear some women screaming around you, and the face as the body kind of flips over, the body looks like Jack, but as the body flips over, the face turns into definitely another man's face and then back into Jack's face.
Okay, for a moment I go, what the hell kind of deviltry is this? Oh, I don't know what you did, Jack Crabbe. What sort of black magic you have now in your power, but you owe me some gold that you stole from me. I hope you haven't spent it all on whiskey. Now you tell me where it is.
And this figure just is kind of bleeding out the mouth. His chest is pretty much open.
So
And
as soon as I heard the
dying
gunshot,
there on the
I'm
dirt.
coming running out.
Okay. And so Yaker, you're watching Beau kind of grabbing this dead body on the ground. It is nighttime.
Just with my feet. I've still got the shotgun pointed right at his head.
So then that's what you see. You see Beau standing over this body with the shotgun pointed at its head.
All right, and I'm gonna come running up, and do I see who he shot?
Probably not very well. I mean, you wouldn't even know what Jack looked like anyway.
Yeah, so I'm coming out. I've got my shotgun, and
actually, Yaker would know because he was in Squeak's store when I described him to Squeak.
You described him.
Oh,
as a giant, hairy bear fella.
Make a spot hidden, actually.
Oh, you fucker.
Did you just call me a fucker?
I think he did.
It sounded like
You
it.
did call me. You know,
I got a 17.
I work really hard to keep your asses alive in this story, and you go around calling me a fucker.
I got it.
All right. So
Got
what you see,
success.
yeah, you know that's definitely not the guy that Beau's been hunting, because this guy works down at the local stables, and he has for years.
So I'm coming out. I'm holding my shotgun off to the side now. Once I see that, and I'm gonna say, Beau, that's. Oh wait, Beau, that's not him. That's not Jack Black. I don't know who you just shot the guy from the.
It's definitely not Jack Black.
Jack Black.
That's Jack Black. You just got
That hairy dude.
God, I shot Jack Black.
You just killed half a Tenacious D. What the hell's your problem?
He is a bright light of entertainment in the dark firmament of the old West.
Oh, he's the school of holes in my chest.
Yager, I thought I told you to stay away. This is none of your business.
So I'm sort of holding my shotgun out, but I sort of have it half ready if I need it. And I'm going to say, I don't think you know what you just did, Beau. You just killed an innocent man. That's
innocent man? I've been searching for this asshole for 2 years, following him from town to town, following rumors, and I finally find him, and I'm going to have my revenge.
But
now let me talk to him before he dies. Now tell me, you got a couple more heartbeats, Crabbe, before I blow your head off and send you to hell. And tell him I sent thee thither for a little Shakespeare.
That's great. I said, Beau, you said he was a giant bear of a man. This man's a skinny little guy, and he works down at the stable. I know him.
No,
You
he
just
ain't.
shot the wrong man.
Look at this giant hairy bitch. I don't know what the hell you're.
I think the book made you crazy in the head.
What book?
You was looking at that book, remember? Over at Seraphim Falls.
No, I don't remember no book. I'm not given to reading books. That's nonsense. Now, leave me to my business.
And go ahead.
Yacker, there were people screaming in the streets, and after the shots were fired, they kind of cleared inside and slammed some doors. So y'all are pretty much alone in the road with this body.
This guy is fading.
So I'm gonna
set aside my gun, and I'm gonna lean down and just grab him by the shirt collar, get in real close.
Okay.
And say, I don't want you slipping away from me, Crab.
Make another POW roll, Beau.
Oh, 94. I did not POW.
Okay. All right. So grab him by the shirt collar. Tell me what you say to him.
Don't you be slipping away from me. You ain't getting off that easy. Now you tell me, what'd you do with my gold?
And so I'm gonna step in, and I'm gonna say, Beau, I don't know what you're seeing, but let me try and keep him alive. Because if it's your guy, Jack Crabbe, at least we can keep him alive so you can talk to him some more. If he's survives right now, you'll never get to talk to him. You gotta let me help him.
You're trying to talk sense to me, and this ain't a moment for sense. This is about revenge.
As you're holding Jack and this is all going on, Jack comes to for a moment with his face, and he looks at you and he cackles and he says, Beau, you're never getting your gold. And he laughs, and then all of a sudden his face completely disappears, and the face of this man who you haven't seen before ever, but is much skinnier and much more kind of like thin-necked and feels all of a sudden much lighter in your hands, is who you're holding.
Okay, then I bolt upright.
And as soon as I can, I'm getting in there and trying to do medicine.
Yeah, I stagger back like someone just, turned a giant spotlight on me, not knowing what the hell's going on. And I just sort of go almost catatonic, just staring down.
I'm going to start yelling out, like, someone get a doctor, and I'm going to try and, like, at least put my hand on the wound and staunch the blood.
Okay, you want to make a medicine roll?
I mean, I got a 1 on medicine, so it probably doesn't have a good chance.
Oh, it's okay. You'll probably kill him. But he didn't,
I got a 17, but that's not a 1.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm trying. I'm sort of packing his chest. And again, I'm yelling out, someone get the doctor. Someone get the doctor.
Okay. Where's Philip?
What's that?
Where's Philip?
Philip is in Body Bills.
He's passed out. He's pooping himself.
We need Philip.
Again.
Or Quentin. Quentin is good at doctoring.
All right, let's see. Doctor. I got an NPC who's happy to show up.
Oh.
Is it Sage?
No, I didn't roll that well for y'all. Sorry.
Well, any NPC is a welcome addition.
All right.
As long as it's not his brother.
Okay, so a very drunken, disheveled man shows up. Yacker, you know this man. He's Red Wellerton. He's the town physician.
/ coroner.
What's that?
/ coroner.
Yeah. They go hand in hand. And he's being towed along by a quite hysterical lady who's to be the man on the ground is Jason Dudley, and it's his wife. he works down at the stables. Let's give a little.
I think worked.
Yeah, that's probably. And you hear kind of the tried and true conversation in the background of, oh, do something for him, Doc, do something for him. And you see Red kind of stagger over to Jason, and he kneels down, and he just belches like and yeah, and
He didn't roll well for us at all.
you can smell the whiskey fumes coming up off of him, and he slurs out to you. He says, Yacher, is that you?
It's me. He got shot in the chest. It's awful bad. I'm trying to staunch the blood, but it's not working.
I need something hot. We're gonna try and seal up these wounds. And dumbass going making draw in the middle of the street. I tell you what, you know what? We can't do it here. Let's carry him over to my place.
All right, I'll carry him over to your place. Then I'll pick him up.
Okay.
And carry him.
And Red goes to pick him up and just falls on his ass. And
I got plenty of strength. I can carry him myself.
Oh, okay. And Jason's body like falls on top of Red.
No,
so you gotta
no. I push him away as soon as he leans in, and I'm gonna say, Red, I got him. I'm gonna carry him. I'm plenty strong, and you're drunk.
Okay. And it's not too far. You pick up the body and you go about 30 feet down, and into Red's health emporium. And Red's health emporium, yep, is you walk
He's
in.
gonna die, isn't he?
And it's essentially a big open room with a wooden table in the middle of it, and the wooden table has a bunch of leather straps on it. And
I'll set him down on the table.
Okay. And he goes, I don't think I'm gonna have to bother with strapping this one down. And he goes over to a contraption he has that it looks kind of like a kettle, but he always has a little he has a fire in a pot-bellied stove and this kettle on top. And in the kettle he has these metal rods with wooden handles on them. And he stumbles over and he grabs one of the wooden handled rods, and you can see the steam coming off the end, and he just plunges it down into some of the buckshot wounds. He says, the way I learned it, you just gotta stop the bleeding, and we'll stop it right up. And as he does it, of course, like the smells of burning flesh start to rise up in the air. Is Yacher staying with me here?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. Remember, Yacher and Scott are not the same. Yacher is not a big baby. Scott is.
Oh, okay.
Yacher's doing okay with this. So Yacher's gonna say, what about all them bullets in there? Ain't we gotta get them bullets out?
There's in buckshot, I think there's like 9 big pellets.
Yeah.
So, probably some of them were near each other, but at that distance, maybe some of them were off to the side, not quite.
You got a pretty decent spread there. He says, normally that's the case, but he said tonight's a little different. You see, the way they're spread out, I think that we just got to seal him up, and if he lives, we'll take him out tomorrow. But if he dies, it doesn't really matter.
All right, you're a doctor. Just tell me how I can help you.
Oh, if only Harold were here with some sort of magnetic crank device to just like suck that buckshot right out.
You know what? I like that idea. Beau, I'm going to give you make a luck roll for old Jason.
Okay. Oh,
002.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
That's
All right.
awesome.
So
I think the doctor has a Herald special.
Yeah, Harold.
So Yaker, you point to he has this shelf full of bottles of body parts in jars, like that are somehow you don't know how, but they're somehow preserved, probably with some kind of clear alcohol. But underneath on the bottom, there's this wooden contraption with it. It looks like a small trebuchet, but it's got a metal piece hanging off of it, and it catches your eye. And for some reason, you say to old Red, you say, "What's that thing?" Cue you. Yeah.
What's
cue
that thing?
It's something Harold gave me. He called it. What'd you call it, Harold?
Well, it was originally for detecting counterfeit coins. So it would be the, let's see here, the fake coin detection and money profit increasing device.
Wonderful. Hey,
Such a good name.
I don't know. It had something to do with finding metal and coins. I can't remember. The damn name is so long.
Could we use it to get the buckshot out of them?
Huh. You know, I hadn't thought of that. Let's try it.
All right, I'll go over, pick it up, carry it over, set it down on the table next to him.
It does. If I remember right, I crank here, and we'll move this doohickey right over.
And I'll sort of crank for him so he can focus on the surgery.
Okay, and as you crank it, there's you can feel a little bit of static electricity build up, like your hairs start to stand up a little bit, and all of a sudden the metal hanging off the end, the magnet hanging off the end, the chest in a part surges upward a little bit, and a little steel ball whallops right up to the top of that thing.
And I'm letting out a yelp. Woohoo! Harold, you're a genius!
And he says, "I'll be damned. We're still gonna have to amputate that arm if he lives."
Well, better that than killing him.
All right, and so you just take it around and you suck up these little steel balls out of the body, and as you do, there's a little sizzle in the background as Red puts these hot pokers in to try and sear the flesh together.
Yay! I'm not a murderer.
Yet.
Well,
We've successfully extracted bullets by a drunken doctor. There's really
okay.
that part's kind of cool.
And they may
But-
not have gone out the same way they went in.
This is also quite possible. But it doesn't.
Not the least resistance.
Yeah. Jason has a heartbeat, and he's not completely dead yet, but he's definitely unresponsive, and it's.
Did they know
not
about
looking
blood
good.
transfusions at this point? Like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They'll just bring that machine in. I'm sure that Harold invented one of those.
no, but I'm just saying. So, at this point, there's no such thing. I'm guessing he just has to make his own blood.
Yeah, I don't think there was any way to preserve the blood. Well, unless they
Yeah.
did it from person to person. Wayne, did they do that direct?
That's what I was wondering, if I could donate, if I could hook up and give him blood.
Well,
Yeah,
then
if
there's
you-
the whole thing about blood types.
Yeah, well, they didn't really have that, so they was crude. So they were trying to they would, if I remember correctly, put blood from person to person early on, and it didn't work so good sometimes.
The earliest known blood transfusion occurred in 1665. And the first human blood transfusion was performed by Dr. Philip Singh in
Thought you were gonna say
17.
Philip
Philip
Donner.
Donner.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
In 1795.
Wow.
There's no way the small town doctor is going to know about it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's been around for 100 years.
The first.
Oh, but wait a
hang on.
minute. Philip
on, yeah.
Donner is a doctor. I bet
Actually-
you.
He might be drunk and he might be chop happy, but he says to you, Yaker, you know, one thing we could try is I can put a little bit of your blood in his blood. And we see how it works out.
How you get my blood out of me?
Well, I take this needle and he goes over and he just sticks his like bare hand in this this vat of liquid, and he pulls out a needle and he says, I put this
Oh,
in a little bit of tubing, and he reaches under that counter and he grabs out some sort of I would guess, would it have to be glass at this point?
No, they had rubber.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So he's got some good rubber tubing that looks like it might be used, you know, under 10 times. And he goes, I put this needle in this tubing and I put it in your arm. And then we get the blood to come out. And once it's coming out, I put another needle in and I'll poke it in him. And you'll pump blood into him.
do they know about antiseptic at this point?
Nah.
Well,
Not
in the
this guy.
In the movies, they're always like pouring. No, they're not pouring alcohol. They're drinking alcohol.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
what I say. They're just drinking.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be like, all right, just give me a shot of whiskey, and I'll try and save his life.
All right. So that
Roll to see if you're a universal donor.
underneath all of those bottles of body parts, he opens up the cabinet and he must have 12 bottles of whiskey under there. I mean, he has more whiskey than anything else. And he grabs a bottle and he just slams it on the table next to you. And there's a little bit of blood on the top of the bottle where his hand was, you know, from working with the body. And he says, have at it. I'm going to have a shot myself when you're done.
All right, I'm wiping the blood off, and I'm taking a swig, and then can I roll to see if I accidentally slosh some on the arm where he's about to put it in his face?
Sure, make a luck roll there.
Take a luck roll. Goddamn luck roll.
Oh
You
yeah,
can-
you're really
can
not
do it.
lucky. Yeah.
Oh, I got a 71. That's not very lucky at all.
Well, all right. So he puts you up next to the table, and let's see how well he does here. He is a doctor after all, but he is a little drunk. Oh man.
Oh God.
So he goes, hang on, and he grabs you by the elbow and he's taking the needle and he just slips. He goes, "Oops!"
Oh.
And he just jabs the needle like straight down into your arm. I mean, clean through into the muscle.
Oh no.
Roll for hepatitis.
And I'm pulling my arm away. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
So you still got this needle in your arm. Oh,
Oh no! As soon as I'm pulling it out.
okay. Oh, give me another chance, Yaker. Just give me one more chance. I think I can get it done this time.
Jesus Christ! So, and at this point, people don't know about putting alcohol on wounds.
Oh, look it up.
I'm
Yaker
looking this
really
shit up.
wants to put some whiskey on his arm.
I really want to do something. This is skeeving me out.
I'm thinking in Bloodstone, you're not really getting any alcohol on the wounds, big guy.
All the
Oh, they
shit
know-
that could
they
possibly
know
go
about,
wrong.
They know about cauterizing.
Of all the horrible shit that could happen to you in a Call of Cthulhu game,
Dying of
if you die,
flesh-eating
Oh,
bacteria.
Once again, this isn't Yonkers, this is me.
What I love is that he's like going to all these links for an NPC I didn't have a name for up until about 30 seconds ago.
All right, now I don't want Beau to be a murderer. I'm like, all right, one more try, but no more whiskey for you until you get this needle in me right.
All right, you were
Then
moving
take
too
another
much.
swig.
I need you to stand still. You were just moving too much, Yaker.
I wasn't moving at all. That's your vision doubling up.
All right, and he very deftly this time slips it in, and all of a sudden blood is like just squirting out of this needle that's in your arm. Hold still, Yaker.
All right, I'll gently hold the needle in for him.
Okay, and he puts the he puts the tubing on, and then you see your blood start to drip out of the tubing. I think he had to squeeze the tube a couple of times. There were some crunchies somewhere in there, and he just had to get them to kind of to flow out.
Yaker, do you have to like exercise to get your blood pressure up so it actually goes into the other guy, right?
No, like if we didn't know about fucking antiseptic, we don't know about increasing blood flow.
This is fun.
We can't pick and choose the medical miracles we know about.
I think for our entertainment we can.
I don't think so. I will do all the motherfucking exercise in the world if you let me put some antiseptic on this thing. I will do some goddamn push-ups and jumping jacks if that's what it takes.
More than anything, I love that Scott put Yaker in this position. All right,
Saving Beau.
and he puts a needle on the other end, and he puts it into this guy's body on the table. He puts it into his arm, and he says, "All right, Yaker, I need you to run in place just for a minute. I need you to get your heart moving."
I need a little more whiskey.
Oh, that's good. That makes the blood flow quicker.
All right. Oh, did I accidentally slosh some?
You found to determine.
I'm
Oh,
going to
give
start
him-
running in place with the
Oh,
whiskey
God.
and then putting it in my mouth so it should be sloshing everywhere.
Is this a pushed roll that Yaker's asking for on his
Ooh,
luck?
it kind of seems like it is.
I think it
I don't
is
know what a
kind of a
pushed roll means.
That means if you fail a second time, something horrible happens.
No, I'm not going to do a push roll. I'll just
like
accept
hepatitis.
it. No kidding. Not on luck. Not when my luck's so poor. All right, so I'm running in place.
Okay, and I guess we should. I guess Beau, we'll leave this up. We'll see. We'll see how well Red does for you. All right. All right, and so after a few minutes, you start to feel really tired, Yaker. A little drained, literally, and a little bit drunk. And he says, "All right, that's good, Yaker. That's enough. We need to stop." And he goes, "Pull out the needle."
And I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm just mumbling to myself, "Well, this night didn't work out the way I was expecting."
And so as you pull it out, he pulls out the other end, and you can just see the hose, or the rubber hose is kind of heavy with blood, right? It's full of blood in there. And certainly as you pull the needle out of your arm, if you've ever had a bad blood draw, you know what that feels like when they just totally fuck up the vein. So your arm's hurting. We'll give you
Can I help out just for 1 second? These are some of the things that can happen with blood transfusions from the 1800s.
Nice.
Techniques of blood transfusion. So, for instance, in 1667, of course, but they were just using their own techniques from time. It wasn't until after the turn of the century. Franco-Prussian War, they were using a variety of devices. Transfusers, perhaps Harold will have one, had been developed to facilitate transfusion in hospitals and on battlefields to ameliorate some transfusion problems. Such problems included accidental injection of air into the patient,
An embolism.
Yep.
Yeah.
coagulation of blood once removed from the body for too long, risking injection of clots, and determining how much blood was removed and transfused, because you're guessing.
Well, that would have, but he was exercised, and if he got to the point where he didn't have enough blood, he would have keeled over.
Yeah,
So,
once they start turning blue, you pull it out.
yeah.
So hypodermic syringes available since about 1850 could be used, and some made of glass made it possible to calibrate blood quantities.
Oh, that would have made more sense to suck the blood out and then
put it back
inject it into the other guy.
Yeah. By 1865, Roussel had developed a device to transfuse from arm to arm that was marketed to militaries, and by the mid-1870s, portable transfusers designed by Schleip and Collins were available for battlefield use.
Oh.
Improvements in indirect transfusion techniques using syringes and transfusers continued steadily through World War I, even as direct transfusion.
But go back. You said that Battlefield 1 was 1870?
The Franco-Prussian War, yeah.
Oh,
do they give the odds that you actually would receive the right blood type?
Well, actually, before this, the whole article is talking about these types of transfusions could be where HIV first came into effect
what?
It says recent history assert that the likely time and place for the emergence of epidemic strains of HIV from simian immunodeficiency viruses was in interwar Central Africa, according to virological.
So
research.
during the Boer War, someone got an infusion from a gorilla?
So I don't know. That's why I didn't read. There's a lot. Yeah, because chimpanzees, monkeys, and possibly gorillas have transmitted SIVs to humans on multiple occasions without leading to epidemics. Medical historians and biomedical researchers have sought factors that facilitated the epidemic spread of different strains of HIV in roughly the same time period, the late 19th and early 20th century.
Here we thought Cthulhu
Well,
was scary.
yeah, it sounds like they would have kind of known what they were doing.
Yeah.
That sounds like a long history of.
Yeah. And besides, I mean, Yakur's only concern is that he lost too much blood.
Here you go. Medical texts from the late 1880s, some directed at battlefield surgery, instructed on methods of blood transfusion and circumstances when it was efficacious. Mosatig and Morhoff recommended transfusion in his 1887 surgical handbook in cases of blood loss, anemia, destruction of blood cells, or blood poisoning, while warning that transfusion should only be used, quote, as a last resort when the patient's life was at risk.
Well, that's the case.
Blood can be transfused directly from vein or artery of a donor into the vein of a recipient, or indirectly by collecting it into a warmed vessel and defibrinating and filtering it to prevent coagulation before injection into the recipient's vein. There you go.
We don't have that
Sounds
technology.
just like what they did.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that. I should be a doctor.
Most of the paraphernalia needed for transfusions were part of colonial medical toolkits. In 1891,
really?
for example, Paul Kolstad, a German
this is 1892, right?
This is colonial. Yeah. German military staff doctor stationed in East Africa advised doctors going into tropical malarial regions to supply metal and glass syringes and cannulas as basic accoutrements. You recommend them for injections of quinine and saline in cases of pernicious fever associated with malaria. Though occasionally colonial doctors reported lack of transfusion equipment in general, even if doctors were not inclined to use blood transfusion therapy, they had the equipment to do so. So here you go.
There you go.
All right. So Yakur, we'll give you roll a d4.
Oh boy.
There's your hepatitis roll.
What if you transfused in Lamava?
I got a 3.
All right. So he might have let you pump a little bit too much blood into old Jason's body. You take 3 points of damage, but essentially it's from over pumping of your blood supply into Jason.
Get the man a cookie.
You're not feeling so hot.
Give him some orange juice.
Yeah. You're feeling wobbly on your feet and
Gosh, I'm
really
down to 21 hit points.
Down to what?
21.
You have 21 hit points?
Holy shit.
No wonder your
You're a
luck's so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had 24, so now I'm down to 21.
Wow.
Yeah, we had already done that
That's
math.
crazy. Mine is, I think mine is 15 to start.
I have 7.
To
Yeah,
start?
I got 11.
I had 8.
Oh, wow.
It was 14 for
I
Quentin.
made
sorry.
myself like 51. I didn't know. We never
Yakur-
changed it. I
I'm
couldn't
down
figure
to
out how
10.
to change it.
Yeah.
Yakur, you don't have to be lucky when you're that healthy.
Jeez, yeah.
Tank.
All right. But you still don't feel. I mean, it's obviously not mortal, but you don't
Do I
feel
get
so
hit
great.
points back when I rest?
You in this game you get hit points back very slowly over extended time, so it's not like it's not like D&D
So
where
at
you.
And
our
if
rate, like
someone-
maybe in 2023.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yep.
And also, can't someone who's not a total drunk, like once Quentin is back there, can't he do like a medicine roll and you get like a hit point back or something?
It depends on. I mean, right. If you can reasonably treat the wound, but
Yeah,
I mean, if you want to roll to put blood back in Yaker, I'm all for it.
No, I'm just.
If y'all
I'm
want to
just
do
gonna
blood
go-
we could do syringe transfusions in
Yeah,
the
do
Yaker. And that would,
syringe
Yeah.
twister.
Such a
Go
shame
down
that
and
Dr.
get
Phil
Beau and eat
missed
the
this
liver.
episode.
Yeah.
No kidding. He's gonna be rolling on the ground.
all right, Yaker. So you've just completed this blood transfusion into old Jason, and Red goes, well, I'm not sure what else we can do unless you've got any more ideas. This seems to be the brains of you and your blood.
If only that someone had invented something to keep sepsis from setting in. But
What's
what do
sepsis?
I know? No, that's it. We're done. We've done everything we can. I want to go. So
If you
go
should
find
know,
Beau and let him know that he's still alive.
in the next few days, if that arm of yours starts to smell funny, make sure you come back and see me.
Oh, he's got a
God,
nice,
Jesus. Worst.
dirty, rusty saw waiting for you.
And some more cauterizing.
All right, so I'm gonna head out and find Beau.
Okay, so you stumble out pretty lightheaded out the front door.
And I'm
Beau,
still
I have
just,
no.
I'm
yeah.
just still standing there, nearly catatonic.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just staring
if
at
we
the
wanna
ground.
Fast forward a little bit. I'm gonna tell him what happened. Tell him that we tried to save his life, and then I'm going to bed.
Okay.
You get no response from me.
All right. Well, I say just I don't know what to do. I gotta go to sleep. I can't even think no more. He took my blood and we saved his life. Maybe. I
You
don't
could
know why
just,
he shot him.
you could just take me by the shoulder and lead me away.
Yeah, I'll just lead him into Seraphim Falls, have him sit in the corner or something, and then I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Hopefully you took my shotgun.
Oh, he took it, and your shells. I take everything, and I take the book as well, and I hide that.
Okay. And then are we both putting you to bed for the night then? All right.
For
Yeah,
real?
that'll give Florence and Harold and Quentin a chance to finish up.
We're coming back for you.
Left us a note on my door, so I'm gonna be knocking as soon as I get back.
I don't think we're going to be in any condition to pull an
You left a
all-nighter.
note. Come to Seraphim Falls.
This is gonna be amazing.
All right, I'm gonna leave one more. I'm leaving a note on my door for them, and I'm telling them something bad happened. We need our sleep, and we'll see you first thing in the morning.
Do not disturb.
So,
Okay.
I mean, it's safe to assume our characters have to sleep.
Your characters, it is a mechanic in the game. Your characters do have to sleep, or you start to get heavily penalized.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, you
but
guys
that
aren't gonna
doesn't-
want to go out and do stuff immediately because you need to sleep as much as we do.
What what time of night is it now?
It's early though. I mean, it was
it
early in
really?
the evening. Yeah, it's
Oh.
only like 8 o'clock or so.
Oh, I thought it was like
Oh, I thought it was
midnight.
later.
By
Yeah.
the time Florence, Quentin, and Harold get back, it is going to be like closer to 10:30 or so. But I mean,
Oh,
you don't have to go to bed just yet.
okay. Well, I'll just then sit in the corner staring off into space.
Yeah, and I'm passed out.
Did you leave a note?
I did. I left a note saying that, some bad stuff happened at night or tonight, and we need our rest, and we'll see you guys first thing in the morning.
Yep. And I'm catatonic, except at one point, I stand up. I go and I get a warm bowl of water and put Yakur's hand in it. And then I go
Damn it,
back.
I was actually writing this down, Beau.
and I go and sit in the corner again.
Damn it.
All right, now I'm sleeping in the warm glow of my own urine.
All right. Well, I guess then this is probably a pretty natural time to take a break, and then we'll resume with QH and F.
Sounds good. All right, then
Sure.
we will take 5-10 minutes and see everybody in a minute.
Without Rick here, there's nobody to moan at that voice.
Ooh.
Okay, and we're back from break. Michael, after that, can you get us started again, please?
Yeah, the keeper's broken.
That's 2 weeks in a row you've done that, Emily.
Good
Sorry.
job. All right, so Yakur and Beau have gone nighty-night for now, and Quentin, Harold, and Florence are headed back from slightly north of the city, yes?
Yes.
Hmm.
Oh, we're not just going to magically be back. We have to get back. Oh, boy.
It'll be fine. Nothing bad will happen.
It's the
Okay.
middle of the night. Here, I'll
It's gonna
just
be
make a
great.
couple of rolls on my side of the computer to see how well it goes,
Okay.
and then I'll tell you. Oh. Here, I'll give you a choice. This will be fun. Do you want the first roll or the second roll?
Second.
We don't trust Quentin. First.
You're the tiebreaker, Harold. Do you want the first or the second roll?
I'm going with Florence.
It's a good thing you did.
Oh,
You got the
wow.
35 instead of the 97.
Holy shit.
So,
wow.
you have a fairly uneventful yet pretty, it takes a while. So 2.5 hours to get back. Y'all have somebody's horse with you, correct?
I think we all rode.
Yeah, my horse,
Yeah,
I think.
I think they were all on
No.
horseback.
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah,
We
because
were
I didn't
walking
have
with
a horse.
Yeah, because I
Oh.
remember somebody using the back of the horse to shoot gophers. I believe that was Quentin was using the back of the horse to steady his gun while Harold got attacked by gophers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know it was like 6 weeks ago, but you
Yeah,
know.
it was a while ago.
Yeah. All right. All right. So you make your way back into the north end of town. It's 10:30 at night. And what do y'all do?
We would go looking for the other folks. So I guess we'd probably start at Seraphim Falls.
Considering our mission is to get back as soon as possible because of the animals?
No, the base of operations is Florence's bookstore.
Oh, okay.
We'd established that as the place where we would meet.
Okay, great. Then we
Yeah.
go there first.
Okay.
All right. And so upon arriving at the bookstore, you find
Oh, look,
Yakur's
there's a note on the door.
How
Come find
convenient.
us at Seraphim Falls. Well,
All right.
straightforward.
There we go.
Doctors note that he's at the Red Cross giving blood.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let me just drop some things off. I'm carrying all of these books. I have like 5 journals from the basement and 1 from upstairs.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So I'll just put those inside.
Okay.
And Harold, I think you took some paraphernalia too.
Oh, yeah, I did. But I think I'm going to put that back at my house.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's head over.
Okay. Yeah, drop stuff off at Florence's and then.
I mean, it's late, but we really
Yep.
need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, by this time, Quentin might be, after losing that many sanity points, might be feeling a little bit drained, I would think. But willing to press on because the importance of getting back to those animals in the basement
Mm-hmm.
and wicked evil that resides there.
All right, so we're going to Yocker's joint.
Remember, there's a note on the door there as well.
Yep.
All right. Then
And just to tell you, so the note says, we
Something bad happened,
after we left the
like,
note on your door, a bunch of bad things happened, and I was hurt, and Quentin's in shock, so we need to rest, and we'll see you in the morning.
Yeah. So then the question is, do we get a few hours of sleep ourselves, then wake these guys up, and everybody go back? I mean, I think for the sake of the game and all of us being together, that probably makes more sense. Harold would probably want to go back soon, but understanding that it's been a long day and a few hours rest would be important, and the animals are not going to die in a couple hours.
And Quentin will say that it's good judgment to take care of ourselves. We can't help anything or anyone if we're tumbling asleep on our way back. It'll be quite dangerous. I think we were quite lucky not to have anything happen to us on the way here.
Yeah, like that old rule, like when you're in a sandstorm, you got to put the bandana on yourself before you help others with their bandanas.
Well, I had some things I wanted to do back at the shop anyway. I really want to take a look at those journals. So, sounds good to me.
Okay.
And first thing in the morning after a good rest, we'll make our way back to let those animals out and anything else that we feel necessary.
Okay.
Harold, do you have room for Quentin at your place?
I suppose. Don't you have a room at the inn there, Quentin?
Yeah, I think Quentin has enough money to get a room.
Okay.
I think you might be
I mean,
more
the night
comfortable
before
there.
they slept on my floor.
That's right. Well, that's what we were leaving probably very early as a group, I think.
I think it was because of a distrust of the inn after
that's
realizing that Pete the Poet was about or something.
Well, no, it was after Quentin stole that stuff from the.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The guy, I was afraid they might be hot on our trail. That turned out not to be the case.
Okay.
Good point. Forgot about that.
I might have too. That might be why they weren't so hot on your trail. Oh no, that's right, down at the mine. I didn't forget about that. It's just only day 2. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Right. Sitting in my window.
So then we'll meet at sunup at Florence's and head right out as soon as sun comes up.
Well, we might need to leave another note. Wait, did your note? Oh, he's gone. Did the Yocker note say we'll come to Florence's or?
Nope.
Okay.
I think we'll have to go back and get them.
Yeah. Okay.
Beau and Quentin, your nights are driven by really intense nightmares. And Beau, most of yours are about confronting Jack, right? Like you start running into different people on the street and they turn around to talk to you and all of a sudden it's Jack, right?
Yep, and I shoot him and then I realize, oh no, it's the school marm. And,
yeah.
Oh, there's a bunch of Jacks. Oh no, they're little kids. I done killed them.
You narrated it perfectly, right? Like it's not just him turning into men, he's turning into women and children, and each one of those like gets more traumatic, and it's a really nightmare fueled sleep. Quentin, yours are a little bit more esoteric as your consciousness seems to slip in and out of different dream states where you think you're awake, and you can keep having these continued conversations with Melville, or you're back on the battlefield trying to save people, but really strange events happen in the dream. Like you might be putting pressure on somebody's amputated leg and then tentacles come flying out and wrap around your hand and suck your arm into the leg. Those kinds of things that are just really otherworldly, unnatural, and mess with your character, leaving you pretty fried from the experience. You also keep having flashbacks to to being down underneath the cabin,
Mm.
and there's these flashes of light, and every time that the light flashes, you reveals a little bit more of this creature that had a hold of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So its physical presence, and that physical presence makes your body ache, and the unnatural alien essence of it really messes with you.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, considering the loss of sanity, that all makes sense. And I was going to say, waking up many times in the night and almost seeing things, I would have to say. And yeah.
Are you sleeping by yourself? Did we decide that? Or are you with Harold?
Yeah, and that's, if you think it's unsafe to go to the inn, then I would let you
Actually,
go.
yeah, because the inn was considered unsafe. So I would have, Mercer had said so. So I said, we were told by Mercer to not go there because of that strange, mysterious fellow who did all those heinous things to Philip Donner. Perhaps it's him. So I asked Harold, if you have space at your place, I'd be much obliged if you can find a space on the floor for me to reside.
Yep, we can do that.
Okay. And so then if he's staying at your place, Harold, you don't sleep very well either, because he's yelling out quite a bit. And Yaker, you're so pretty like blood drained at this point that you might sleep through most of Beau's moanings. But Harold,
I think Harold must have a shouting and moaning abatement device. That it's like this metal ball with a leather strap around it.
Oh, is that what it is?
Or a CPAP machine.
So unless you ball gag Quentin, then he's got a pretty you're going to be up a lot in the night as he screams out and shouts and those kinds of things.
Is there a kink roll?
So that would be a nocturnal spousal snoring suppression device.
Oh.
Nice.
Or
Now-
that.
Before Florence sleeps, can she do a thing?
Hey, you can do whatever you
Great.
want.
So there was a reason I really wanted to get that upstairs journal. And that's because I hoped that I know that they're all written in this strange symbol language, but I know the gist of what he was writing in the upstairs journal because he was transcribing our story. So I would like to try to break it like a code.
Woo! Wow.
And on that note,
Wow.
are
You
you
even
phoning
got a
a
tone.
friend for the code
You got
breaking?
it.
All right, let's see. What are you going to try and do that under?
Intelligence. Or another suggestion from my keeper.
Language.
Let's see what you got here, Florence. It seems a little, I guess though, we can go with your intelligence, but this is going to be extreme.
Okay. As in I need an extreme success.
As in you need an extreme success.
Okay, well, that's unlikely. Very, very unlikely with my
Okay.
85.
Yes. The language.
Which actually would have been a success because I'm so damn smart. Okay.
We had a very smart group.
She beat me up at a board game earlier today, so I have to exact my revenge somehow.
Wow.
You won that game?
All right. So
but his pride was hurt while he won.
That was so funny.
Yeah, my pride was hurt. In the book is just really esoteric. It's really hard to make out where one symbol ends and the next one begins, and you're just having a lot of trouble piecing together what it would even be in relationship to our language, what he was writing in. And so it's just not clicking together for you.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I was gonna. Oh wait, you're not asleep yet. That's okay. We'll wait till. Remind me when Florence does go to sleep that I was gonna give y'all. I was gonna give y'all a little boon. I was gonna
Oh.
give you something nice.
Oh, geez,
Okay.
that sounded super ominous the way you phrased that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, it's actually a nice thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing I'll do before I go to sleep, since I can't make heads or tails of the language, is just to flip through the books and see if there are any sketches or anything that I could flag to maybe show to Harold or to look at later.
Oh, okay. Make a spot hidden.
Okay. That's actually a hard success.
I was just about to say, little does she know any successes in these rolls require a sanity roll.
Oh dear.
Because you don't
Oh.
want to know.
That was a success.
I think you said it was a hard success.
I did say it was a hard
I think
success.
that's what my students say most of the time, is that I take all the joy out of successes. Go ahead. Let's have your sanity roll.
Oh,
Okay.
definitely a good thing to be known for.
Yeah.
I made it by 1.
Sure, you did, Florence.
I really
All right.
did. I did.
So as you're flipping through the book, what kind of sketch would you like to? I mean, you kind of know some of the goings on that were happening down there. So what kind of information are you looking for Harold?
Oh man, I have to choose what useful information I find.
You don't have to choose, but I'm giving you the choice here. I'm giving you the narrative for a moment.
No, I appreciate that. I was totally prepared for it.
I can tell.
And the pressure's on.
Yeah. Is there anything involving human figures? Because we know he was doing experiments on animals.
I thought I was going to sneeze for a second, so I muted. Sure, there's some things with humans, and there appears to be sketches of some sort of device and little lightning bolts coming out of the device towards different figures. And then there's notations by those figures. They're all different sizes. So there's large, some of them look familiar, like human shapes, or let's see what other, maybe like elephant shapes. Some of them look a lot less familiar, like tentacly figures or weird ocean animals or flying beasts that look a little large. These aren't perfect drawings, mind you. They're just sketches. So you're not sure if these are things that maybe you're supposed to know that are drawn poorly, or if you just don't know what these creatures are that are drawn in the book.
Okay. A device with lightning bolts going towards all these types of figures.
Yeah, and the device is shown from a few angles, and from the side, the top, the bottom, those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Did they see a device down in the basement, or Quentin?
Nope.
Quentin saw something.
He saw flashes of light.
Oh, okay.
Well, he saw a big something that was giant and filled the hallway.
It was a big cylinder or something.
But we haven't specifically talked about that because he didn't remember it at first, and he was crazy.
Glowing green. That was the one in the first room that we went into, all the contraptions and such like that, and had the wires that went back up to the kitchen.
Yes.
Okay, so I gotta say, some little optical trick just happened. And I think it was when I looked up, because I've got progressive lenses. But as I looked up at Michael's frame, it really looked like the mannequin behind him leaned in just a little bit more. And that genuinely gave me that little stomach. Oh, is that why? Were you actually moving it?
I didn't, but I just did that.
Wow.
Okay. Florence will go to bed.
She's not a mannequin.
She's just very good at standing still.
Still, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to bed?
I don't think I want to read the book anymore. It made me feel uncomfortable.
That's fair. Okay, so what I want everybody to do is to take a skill that they used over the course of the day.
Ooh.
And Rick, no, you're not going to get to retroactively do this when you get back. It's your
Ah.
punishment for
Wow.
being gone.
Uh-huh.
All right. So everybody pick a skill that you would like to roll for to improve.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you how this works. The only thing you can't roll for, except for Quentin, I guess if you really wanted to roll for Mythos, you could.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I got 9 points in that.
Actually, I don't think you can. I don't think Mythos, unless you, well, I guess you're dreaming about it. But it might invoke another sanity roll. You want to, the deal with the skill is you don't make the check to improve it. You have to miss it. And so that's kind of a balancing thing so that you can't OP a skill that's like at 60 or 70.
So the lower it is, the better chance you have it going up.
Right. So it needs to be something that you at least used over the course of the last day. It doesn't matter if you failed at it or got it right over the course of the day. It's just a skill that you had to use. And whoever's ready, just let me know and we'll make that first roll.
I think I'm going to try to get better at my spot hidden.
Okay. And what is your spot
It's
hidden
currently a 50.
Okay. So you'll have to roll a 51 or higher to improve it.
Okay. I rolled a 64.
Okay. Now roll a d6.
6.
All right. So you add 6 to your spot hidden.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we're doing it, so we might not always roll a d6 on these, but we'll see.
So I'm doing the same, and I'm going to do spot hidden as well.
Okay.
I've got a 40.
Okay. And I should say you can't improve your core attributes like intelligence and those kinds of things.
Come on, Yaker, you can do it.
All right, rolling. I didn't get it. I got a 23.
Oh.
Okay.
Doesn't he get a
Yaker,
consolation like 1 point?
Yeah, I was going to say, so Yaker, you can add 1 point to that.
Thank you.
Sure.
Quentin's going to argue for the Cthulhu mythos, and because of the incredible journey in time, but specifically having seen the earth with these figures fighting amongst themselves, and just this sense of feeling of this Lamava, the whole thing just being wrapped into a oneness. These aren't separate incidents, and everything going on, even if it at the cost of his sanity. He's realizing that his sanity and understanding this is
Yep, if Cthulhu goes up,
there's
sanity goes down.
Right.
I was just about to say, so whatever points you add to your mythos will deduct from your sanity.
Okay, because I was going to say, just for role playing, I think that's the avenue he's on, because the mythos, the creature, these monsters are his Moby Dick, and that's his focus.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Where
Absolutely.
is that skill? Where does it live?
It's under Cthulhu mythos, so it's under C.
There's
Okay.
climb, credit rating,
got it.
and Cthulhu mythos.
Got it.
So I have a 9, so I think I should be able to roll higher than that. Oh my God, I rolled 100. I rolled 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, you're good. So roll a d6.
That's insane.
Wait, I thought the base of every skill was 1, but I have a 0 for my mythos.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you don't mythos.
Anything.
You don't start with anything in.
Oh, okay.
Need to go insane. All right, die 6, roll 6.
Oh.
Okay. Oh boy.
That's actually not so good. Okay.
What does that bring your sanity down to?
Insane in the membrane.
44 minus 6 brings him down to 38. Wow. He started at started this game at 60. I think it was in the 60s somewhere. Yeah.
Still saner than Yacker.
Really?
I've got a
And
33.
Still saner than Harold.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, but
All right.
that's pretty good. He pretty much lost half of it in one day.
And Harold's dead wife talks to him all the time. So,
Hey, she
All
hasn't.
right.
We haven't heard from Millie in a while.
well, I mean, just because we've been doing other things, she was
true.
screaming away.
Oh, she was very active
Yeah.
back at the house.
Yeah.
All right. The mythos still isn't very high. It's only at a 15, but at least it's a shot in the dark.
That
So-
is
Good.
Man, how did
infinitely
Millie
higher
feel
than
about
mine.
Quentin staying over?
That's why I was hesitant about Quentin staying over.
Nobody wants you, Quentin.
I think she's going to tell you that it's time to kill the house guest.
Maybe.
Hang on. I have to look at one thing because 6 points of sanity loss is significant.
Ooh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you're gonna have another
Yeah, it's-
breakdown.
It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
Kind
that
of a
was
big.
Wow.
It's kind of a big deal.
So that
Has
night,
anyone noticed that both of the newcomers to town are relatively murderous?
I didn't. I actually, until I went crazy, I haven't killed anybody.
And crazy? Only only you
Yeah.
guys.
No, the murderous one is Phil shooting someone in the back and killing him, and Quentin getting watermelon smashy
And neck breaky.
and neck breaking.
Mhm. Getting a little neck
Almost being
breaky.
creature.
Quentin, make an intelligence roll.
Oh, unfortunately, that's pretty high. Okay. 33, so I make it easily. Ooh, that's a hard success.
Okay, and give me a D10.
3.
Metachlorophobia, fear of Star Wars.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Oh my
wow.
goodness.
He pulled out the
Okay.
metachlorines.
And roll one more D10 for
Damn.
me.
That's harsh.
0.
0?
which
There's a
is-
0 on your
Oh,
a
so a
10.
10. A
Yeah.
10. Okay. So we'll get back to what that all means in just a second. And who do we have left? Yacker? What are you trying to? Oh, Yacker
Yacker
already
did it.
did.
It's me and Florence.
Okay, Florence or Harold?
I won.
Somebody go.
Go for it, Florence.
I'll do listen. I have a 40.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 39.
All right. So now you have a
Oh.
41, Florence.
That's great. That's wonderful.
So is listen the thing that I keep failing?
No,
It's either listen or spot hidden.
Spot hidden.
It's
is-
spot hidden.
Everyone keeps flunking.
Well, no,
I don't think
but
I don't think you're gonna get over. I mean, I think if you roll 100 on everything, Harold, it doesn't matter what you're.
No, but it's always the
percentage.
same thing. It's been the same thing every time, and I can't remember whether it's listen or spot hidden.
I know, but you're usually rolling like a 96 or a 97.
No, but I
so it's like-
only roll those on one skill check. I've
What
only
you
rolled
when
over
where you
90.
chopped off your finger? That was the one.
That
Yeah,
was
it was when I chopped off my finger. It was
That
when
was
the
luck,
the
wasn't
the
it?
dudes no, when the gophers attacked me, and there was another, and it was all the same skill check.
Oh yeah, I think those were all spot hiddens.
Okay, so
Yeah,
then
they were spot hiddens.
then
yeah.
I'm gonna go for spot hidden then.
What do you have in it?
I have a 50,
Wow, that's high.
which makes it. I mean, it's
Huh.
I got a 50-50 shot, and 3
Yeah.
times I've rolled over a 95 on it. So I'm sure this is gonna be a great roll.
Come on, 95.
45.
Oh, fucking A. Oh,
When I
What a
want
wonderful boon keeper.
when I want to roll over, I don't.
All right. Well, give yourself a point there.
Okay. All right. So now that's going to change everything. Okay.
All right. So at some point in the middle of the night, Harold, as Quentin is just thrashing and turning himself all over the place and moaning,
Here comes my spot hidden check.
you put your
100.
you put your covers over your head and you just try and go into a different space and ignore him. And what ends up happening, Quentin, is you're thrashing in your dreams so much that you'll wake up about 10 hours later, so much, pretty significant sleep, and you're just going to be bruised and banged up all over your hands and your arms and your face from basically barreling into things and hitting a table leg and cracking your head, and you've got a big gash across your forehead now, and all kinds of cuts and bruises on your arms and hands.
Oh, geez, Millie, what'd you do to him?
So does that any hit points off?
No, it doesn't cost you any hit points, but you've already taken enough sanity damage.
All right.
And you didn't get a needle jabbed all the way down to your elbow, so you're okay.
Oh my God. So are we morning time?
Yeah, so good morning.
Okay.
Some of you are a bit more aware in your skill sets. And Quentin doesn't get out of bed till, close to the 8-9 o'clock hour. A little unusual for him. You would wake up first, Harold, and you see Quentin just like kind of basically finally passed out on the floor, just like he got hit by a truck, except there's no trucks.
Harold, had you still wanted to go back to the place? If so, wouldn't you like ditch Quentin and just?
Oh no, I'm waking everybody up like crack of dawn, even like a little before dawn.
Okay, and you just can't really rouse Quentin. I mean, he's not dead or hurt, but he's just in a deep stupor.
Water on the face. I gotta go save those animals.
You might
I
actually
can't.
have some more of those devices.
He's gonna.
It's like an egg beater, but a hand goes like this.
I can't be responsible for this.
He's gonna kill the animals. That's what he does. He kills things.
All right.
So we're up. I'm used to getting up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah,
So
and hopefully
Yacker.
I'm sorry, Yacker.
I was going to say, as soon as I get up, I'm checking on Beau, make sure Beau's doing okay, and I want to see if Beau is out of a catatonic state.
I got some sleep. It was fitful sleep, full of nightmares. But I want to know what happened. I'm all confused. I was sure I shot Jack Crabbe, but then he turned into. What happened, Yacker?
So I said, well, if you remember, you looked at that book. We were looking at that book together, and I held up the light to it, and you traced the letters, and I think it must have done something to your brain, got it all extrapolated or something, and you got all confused, and you went outside. You said, Yacker, don't get in my way or I'm going to shoot you.
What?
And then you went outside, and I heard you yelling something, and next thing I know, I looked out the door, and you were shooting a man, and you were sure it was Jack Crabbe.
Oh, Jesus.
You were sure, and it turned out it wasn't Jack Crabbe at all. Didn't look nothing like it.
Oh,
you
my
said
God.
Jack Crabbe's a big bear of a fella, but this was a little skinny guy.
Are you saying I killed an innocent man?
I don't, well, you might have, but I brought him to the doctor, and we used one of Harold's amazing inventions to get the bullets out, and I gave him some of my blood just to keep his heart beating for you so that you won't be a murderer, because I know that's the last thing you want.
No, there's only one man I want to kill, and he has it coming to him.
So hopefully he survives, and maybe what you'll have to do is you'll have to go explain that something happened with them creatures last night, and you thought it was them creatures or something, just so that you don't get taken in by the constable. And maybe if you got some money, maybe you can give him some money and help his family.
they're going to take me in either way. Either I killed,
Um,
shot a man in cold blood, or I'm a lunatic.
Man, not in this town. You'd be amazed at what people get away with in this town. It pretty much, if you can explain it away, the law don't really worry too much about it. They got bigger fish to fry.
Okay, well, you put my mind at ease, Yocker. Thank you. You're a good man.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I got to ask you something. We got to keep you away from books because maybe they ain't so good for your head. And
yeah, I
maybe
have no recollection of that book whatsoever.
and maybe we got to be a little bit careful. I took your gun and your
Oh,
shell last
wait,
night.
I do remember something. I remember I found a book in that guy in the belongings of that guy that Phil murdered in cold blood, and I wanted to show it to Florence because I figured Florence it might be of use to her. So yeah, let's give that book to her.
Well, we got to tell her that she better not be reading that book. No, we'll tell her she shouldn't be reading that book at all because it'll get her all crazy in the head. We don't want that.
Well, I think she, knows what she's doing in terms of arcane knowledge.
Yeah.
Me, I definitely should not be looking at any strange squiggles and whatnot.
Yeah, I think not the best choice either. So why don't we go on over? It's a little early, but see if we can wake Florence up and everybody else up and get to going on finding out what happened.
Sounds good.
Florence figured there might be people coming, so she made bread.
Yay!
Is this Florence or Emily?
This is Florence.
Okay.
We love.
We
Florence.
already established this with the scones.
And I got a big chew of pemmican. Yum, 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 yum.
All right, so does the bucket of water in the face wake Quentin up?
Quentin, give me a Constitution roll.
Okay. Oh, I got a good constitution. A 2, and I have a 75.
All right, so you come to, and you're pretty sore, and you look at Harold. I mean, you've just had a fairly traumatic night of sleep, and you're aching and just sore all over.
And I say to
and soaking wet.
Oh, wetty. So I say Harold, I feel horrible. And I was like, the dreams I had, I'm not even sure they were dreams. Everything seems much more clear and not at the same time. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it does. He says, I need to get a little bit of water to splash in the face, and I need to go over to the general store to see if I can find anything that might help.
Well, I took care of that first part for you.
Yeah.
And you look just fine. So let's just head out. Definitely don't go over there by the mirror. Let's just head out and go rescue some animals.
Yeah, it's like 5 in the morning, right?
Yep. Yeah, and I'm just trying to shoo him out the door.
If it's 5 in the morning, there was no time to make bread.
That's okay. I'll share my hardtack. I got some corn pone, I got some egg pone, got some steak pone.
I don't know what that
A lot of pone.
It's a bit from The Simpsons.
Okay. It sounded familiar.
It's,
All right,
it's when Bart is Huck Finn.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that one. So I'm shooing Quentin out and heading over to Florence's.
Okay. And then in the free time that Quentin has before, I don't know if we were meeting up later. He's going to the general store. I don't know what time it opens. So we'll hang out.
Definitely not at 5 in the morning.
Oh, you never know when Lloyd's there.
Oh, that's right. It's Lloyd.
He's pretty much there all the time.
So yeah, Yacker and I went to Florence's, and we Florence, tap 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 tap.
Takes me a minute to get downstairs. I hadn't awakened quite yet after I walked back that bread thing. Oh, good morning. Good morning.
Well, there, Florence, we have no idea what's been happening with you guys. So for us, the urgent matter is the book and the flying
Yeah.
things.
Mhm.
So we let you know about the, people been abducted, these things. They attacked Yacker, they attacked Phil, and they took 2 of the town folk and they flew away. And I found this book, and I guess I touched it, and there's nothing written in it, but when I was touching it, there was a sense that something had been written. And next thing I know, I shot a man, and Yacker saved his life, and yada, yada, yada.
Well, then I'll also share all of the events from Gerald's house with an emphasis on the fact that Quentin was violent.
Quentin's not going to come out looking good.
Swore
in the
he would
story, is
never harm anyone again, and then snapped Gerald's neck.
What?
I don't trust the man.
Does he? Oh, I'll ask you this question. Did he show any signs of remorse for having killed the guy?
No, he actually, he was ranting and raving about Moby Dick, and he said that Gerald was his white whale.
Well, I guess I don't know. I'm not one.
He just met the man.
Well, I tell you, I had that episode of lunacy where I shot an innocent man. So maybe the same sort of, evil that got into me got into him. I mean, mine thankfully went away after a good night's sleep. Maybe we go get him, we'll find him in a better state of mind.
And I'm going to say to you, Florence, I'm going to say, look, it's been really crazy. Everyone is just like, the town got attacked last night. Did we tell you about that part?
Yep.
I believe you did.
Yeah. Like, everything is just going crazy. And maybe Quentin isn't evil. Maybe Quentin's just getting caught up just like Quentin did. Just like Beau did.
It's certainly possible. I mean, I don't know. I was just thrown. I was thrown because he threatened me.
Yeah, well, why don't we find out? We can talk to him and make sure he's safe, and if we need to, we'll keep him away from him.
Something I would suggest is, do you have a safe place where you can keep all these books? Because I don't know whether they should just be left out in the open where someone can casually.
I'm going to tell you my theory that I think that the reason that Quentin lost it was because he had read the book, and I think there's something about either the letters or the words that is causing some of the insanity that's happening.
The reason Quentin lost it, the reason Beau lost it.
The reason Beau lost it.
Yeah.
That Beau was fine right up until Beau read the book, and as soon as Beau touched the letters, that's when Beau lost it. So I'm pretty sure that it happened to Beau because of the book, because of the letters. So I'm recommending Beau never touch another one of those books again.
Never reads a book again.
I thought you were going to say never read a book
Definitely
again.
don't read anymore.
Oh.
Well, I do have this storeroom in the back that has a lock on the door.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I think only you and, I mean, I'd feel comfortable if only you and Harold had access to those. Well, Harold's a little, God love him, he's sort of haunted by his wife. So maybe, only the most sane of us should go anywhere near those books.
Well, for now, let's just lock them up, and then we can make a judgment call as necessary. I will also put these books that I took from Gerald's in there because I could not make head or tail of the language, but I saw some very, very strange imagery.
Oh, here, let me have a look.
So I'll just put this pile of books into the storeroom, which is basically just that: bookshelves, boxes of books, oddities, and then in one corner there's like a little table that was pushed there with a bunch of jewelry making tools all just like piled on and around it in no particular order.
Okay.
Oh, let's put a pin on that. I've got this hunk of gold that I would love to, if there's some way we could fashion that into something I could hang around my neck, because apparently it glows whenever I am near a site where great violence has happened.
Which in
Just,
this town
it's
is
just
every
I have a really bad memory, especially after last night. I just want to put it out there so that you all can help me remember.
Sure. And can't you just tie like a thong around it?
Did you say a thong?
Yeah, like a leather thong.
Oh yeah, let me take my thong off and I'll tie that right around it.
It can both be a funny word and the right word. Those two things are not mutually exclusive.
I mean, Yaker, that does sound like a good idea. I'm not here volunteering to try to use any of these tools in the corner. They're not mine, and I have very little skill with them.
Well, I have I'm fairly skillful in fashioning tools that I need out in the wilderness to make do. Maybe if you wouldn't mind letting me have a look at them later. Obviously, we have pressing concerns right now. I might be able to, pinch some metal around it and wrap my thong through it.
What kind of a role would jewelry metal thong tying be?
I'm talking about survival.
Okay.
Where you're able to take what's at hand and fashion it into what you need.
I mean, I think this is pretty. If you really want to get technical with it, it's probably a mechanical repair. But I think for what we're talking about, this is just kind of basic dexterity. You're not trying to do anything complicated.
Nothing fancy, yeah.
Or we could do a mechanical repair. Who's doing it?
Well, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would have to ask Harold to do that for me.
Hey,
if he's tying a thong,
I could help with that.
Yeah, I have no mechanical.
All right, just do basic dexterity then. That's fine. We'll do basic dexterity.
Okie doke. I have a good dex. Oh, I have an incredible dex.
Wait, Harold, are you here too? Did you
No,
come
not yet.
over?
No.
Well, I mean,
probably
yes, but
I got a 9 out of 80.
All right,
Jesus.
I think you're okay. You just whip it up. You thong it really well.
Yep. And I tie it around my neck, nice and tight. There we go.
Okay.
And I tuck it away so that people don't see I've got a little nugget of gold.
Sounds good.
So yeah, Emily, Harold is super anxious to get on the road. So we would be there crack of dawn, if not before. But I just didn't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation.
Okay. I just wondered if so are you here as we're doing all of this and you're just like, chop, 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 guys?
We could say that I just showed up. We just showed up now because, Quentin may have wanted to, he may have gone to check to see if the general store was open.
Quentin, did you go to see if the general store was open?
Yes.
Or
yes,
what is it that you wanted from the general store?
Some food, something to ail my aching head if he has anything like that.
We've got food.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you some food and some aspirin.
Oh, Quentin wants to go to the general store.
Okay.
Okay,
right.
and Harold, we tell you about the people that got abducted and the crazy creatures that did it. And we need to, I would say, Harold, are you sure how important it is to go save those animals versus saving those people that got swept up, snatched up, and carried away?
Well, I think that, so first of all, Quentin, I'm going to let you go to the general store. I'm going to go get those guys and tell you, immediately come and meet us or we're leaving without you.
Okay.
So, I agree that sounds pretty serious, but a couple things come to mind. First off, what do you think are the chances of those folks actually being alive? It doesn't sound very good to me because you said that one of them was like feet sticking out of a big mouth. That doesn't sound good.
No, not feet sticking out of a mouth. Feet hanging down from some sort of claws or something.
Okay, still
doesn't... So carrying them away like a giant hybrid between a bat and an eagle.
Yep. So carrying them away like food or something.
But still, they are human beings, and
yeah, but
can't write them off.
But these animals are innocent, and
so were the people.
Not necessarily. People
are
generally not terribly innocent.
Harold, it was a little child.
That's innocent. That's
Sammy.
Oh,
you
Sammy.
Know him.
Oh, not Sammy.
Yes.
Oh, he's such a good one.
The other one
it was Sammy. It was really sad when they took him away. We were really worried about him, and if we just let him get eaten and we didn't even try and help him, that could be really bad, you know.
Well, now the other one was that mean drunk, the husband of I don't remember Yacker, husband of what's her face there.
Yeah, I don't even know his name, because he just, if I'd seen him, I would have probably shot him myself.
But but poor Sammy, we gotta at least try.
That's very true. But when it comes down to it, the reality of the situation is that I wasn't here for that, so I'm emotionally attached to the thing that I created.
But it's Sammy. I'm attaching you emotionally.
I understand that, but I looked into those poor sad animals' eyes, and I know that they're gonna starve to death, and that nobody knows they're there. Nobody can rescue them, but us. And I just won't be able to live with myself if I don't just go and let them out of their cages.
Now, did you tell me about how they were like pumping stuff into them?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, you're about to ask the question I was going to ask.
Yeah, there's a chance, from what you told me, there's a chance that we might have to put them down for, the sake of their, sensitivity, and to keep them from harming someone. You told us about how those gophers attacked you.
Yeah, but
keep these things from attacking you.
But they were those. I don't put those two things together. But you never know. I suppose they could be a similar situation there.
Because you haven't finished your experiments with the Lomava. I remember you told me how it affected the plant. We don't know how it's affecting those animals that have been exposed to it.
Speaking of which, another night has gone by. Has the plant changed at all, Keeper, before I left this morning?
Make a spot hidden on it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You and that spot hidden.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, holy shit. I actually succeeded. It's a normal success.
Yeah, we should split it up into two skills. Notice, like generic notice,
right.
And spot hidden for actually finding something that's hidden.
Yeah. Well, this is in terms of it's sprouted some stalks around the bottom of it, and they seem to be like going towards the edge of the plant. Nothing too kind of unusual, except that it is slightly unusual enough that you notice it.
Okay, it's a little off.
Harold, I'm as a player, I'm not giving you a hard time.
Yeah,
I know as a player, there's the whole murder scene you want to go back and cover up. But as a character, I'm just letting you know from my perspective what I.
Yeah, no, it's perfectly fair.
Well, friends,
it's
I
a
hate
reasonable
to throw
argument.
a wrench in the works, but Thursday morning is the time that I visit my sister every week, and if I don't see her.
Oh my God.
Wow, we're talking about life and death stuff, and my poor sister.
But I just have to table talk this. The whole reason that we left the building in the first place was to get the party back together, and now it's going to be even more fractured.
All right, we've got to wrap up for the night here for a second, but I need to. So we'll come back. We'll pick up with y'all debating on who's going where, but I need to finish with Quentin at the general store.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
And it might take about 5 minutes,
That's fine.
And then we'll close up. All right. So Quentin, you arrive at the general store, and the door's closed. He has a sign hanging on the door that says open, but it looks awfully quiet inside. There's nobody moving.
Oh boy.
You just, as you walk up, you kind of have that
spooky feel.
that spooky feel.
Wow. I look around to see if there's anyone else out on the out that morning on the road or anything like that nearby.
I guess it's like 5:30 in the morning in a whoring drunken town, so it's pretty quiet.
Pretty slim chance of that happening. All right. And I realize the risk of going in, but this is important, without other people and such like that. So I will. What type of door is it? Was it something you have to push open, or can you peek in?
No, it has a glass pane on the front of it.
Okay, so I look through the glass pane to see if I see anything untowards or a mess.
Just roll for that spot hidden.
Oh boy. 40. Yeah, I got it.
All right. So you're peeking through the window, and of course there's barrels of grain out and other things on the back of the shelves. But what catches your eye is the counters off to the left-hand side, and as you look down it onto the floor on the wooden plank, there's just a pile of cats. I mean, they're like kind of in a frenzy. There's probably 12, maybe 15 of them.
Oh man.
They have blood on their whiskers.
They're fighting over his face, stretching it this way and that.
Oh boy. And
so they eat the eyeballs first.
So at this point, it's going to be pretty obvious that he's been down for a while. So Quentin feels safe that he can go in and nothing gets pinned on him for this one. So he pushes open the door and he yells, feline vermin, scat, and he starts getting them out of the way. And if there's a broom nearby, he grabs a broom and starts swatting at the cats.
Sure. Yeah, there would be some. I mean, it's a general store. There'd be something they hiss at you right as you approach there, and as you try to sweep them out of the way. And there's an intimidating amount of these cats. You now realize as you make it inside the store that he had a ton of cats, and there's probably 20 or so of them on this body, and as you get closer they hiss at you. It's actually hard to see. You assume it's his body on the floor, but it's really hard to see.
So I try to shoo the cats away, and once I notice that Lloyd, I suppose it's Lloyd, or I don't know.
Yeah, so as you shoo them away, right, there's chunks of meat out of his face, and his clothes have been clawed through. Like, I mean, the cats just got on top of him and shredded his clothes. And then a lot of exposed bone and intestines have been pulled out, and they're just, I mean, they've gone to town on him. It looks like they've been feeding on him for hours.
So in the short time I've been in this town, I've heard of him, but do I know if Lloyd has any connections or family or any other relation? Does he live above the store? I don't know that.
I don't think you would know terribly much about him.
Okay, that would be Harold.
Yeah, you've only been there a couple days.
So
and let's say you do one more thing, and then we'll kind of leave it on this hanger for the night.
Okay. I quickly look around and grab a satchel.
Okay.
And I throw those items that I mentioned in there.
Okay. Cool. So add those items to your inventory.
Okay.
Food and aspirin?
No, he's sending
food and aspirin, of course.
He's sending secret messages to the keeper again.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's probably got dynamite and
What was aspirin? Aspirin. Did they have aspirin back then? I don't know.
Yeah. I think
I'm pretty sure.
aspirin's been around for a while.
And oil. That was it. Okay.
Who let the crazy guy go to the general store by himself?
For a little bit of shopping.
So he finds Lloyd dead.
Aspirin
and
came into being in the late 1890s.
Yep. Finds
really?
Lloyd dead.
So early aspirin.
Finds Lloyd dead and plunders the store and comes traipsing back.
All right, so we'll close this episode with Quentin in the store. He stuffed his satchel. Harold and Florence and y'all are arguing over whether you're going to visit your sister or y'all are going back to save the animals.
I think we already decided to go visit Florence's sister.
Can I just give
That's-
one interesting
All of
fact?
us together.
Yeah.
If this can be believed, an early painkiller that people used was opium and morphine. Or opium.
Oh
and
yeah,
morphine.
that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's laudanum, basically, right?
Laudanum, yeah.
Wow.
Laudanum.
All right. That's going to do it for us tonight. We will see you next time under the library. In the meantime, you can find us at underthelibrary.com. For me, Michael, for Scott, for Wayne, for Emily and Chris, thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Oh God!
Oh, it was Philip
The
that got
mannequin's moving.
Lloyd to do the spying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot about that.
Is there any chance that in blood next to his body just before he died, he wrote, "It was Philip"?
Or do we know that it was actually Philip?
We know we play
Or sorry,
knowledge.
do we know that it was actually that the body is actually Lloyd?
No.
Well, that's why I'm coming to get you, Harold.
Okay.
You're the only one who know. You know.
I mean, anybody that lives in town knows him. Florence and Yaker know him too.
But Harold seems to have a good connection.